Hey, this is episode number 24 of the PJ and Pals podcast. Very special episode because this is our first ever episode with two guests on it. Fez is back. He's been on multiple episodes of the podcast, and his cousin Andre, who we went to college with, very good friends with Andre. He came down this weekend for a jiu-jitsu tournament that I was a part of. He also sat in on the episode. We talk about Endgame the entire time, so this is a very spoiler-filled episode. If you haven't seen Endgame, please don't listen to this episode. If you want to watch Endgame, do not listen to this because that's all we talk about. We were going to do another episode with just me and Andre after, but we ran out of time because we talked about Endgame too much. I unfortunately only have one guest mic, so they share a mic, so it might sound like Andre's a little off mic sometimes. I'll try and boost the levels a little bit, but bear with us in this episode. We didn't have the capability of doing 3 microphones, but I still think it's a great episode. If you really enjoyed Endgame, like we did, I think you'll like the episode. We talk about also the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, what we want them to do, what we think might happen, etc., etc. And yeah, so just hopefully you enjoy. Thank you for listening. Episode number 24 of the PJ and Pals podcast with the Greco. We had the one.
Okay, that's the one. Okay, because he was tucked away in the back.
Yeah, because he would bark.
Yeah.
I brought him to jiu-jitsu one time, and he just he has separation anxiety with me. He protects me and stuff like that. Not that I need protection, but so it was in Hayabusa there was a glass door, so he was sitting on the other side. I'm rolling, and he thinks I'm getting hurt.
Yeah.
And so even though I've got someone's back or whatever, he's just I was like, I have to take him away.
Oh, fuck.
We can kick him out if you guys want.
No, I like him. He's alright. I feel like he's not barking, so he's okay.
Fez, smile.
I'm fine.
You're unblocked, right?
I just told you. Yeah. The Facebook
Yeah, because
one.
I texted you.
The
this
Facebook
morning.
one I don't know how to do on my phone, but
So
I'll
you're
do it
still
later
blocked.
on my computer. On the messenger, it doesn't let me unblock you on my phone for some reason.
Okay, well we've been recording for a couple minutes now, but let's
Can you
start
hear
now.
us okay? Or obviously.
Here, I'm gonna turn you up because Matt was the last person to record in here, so
he's right up on
I
the
have to
mic.
pin him down because he's very loud. Well, he's a broadcaster.
He also knows what he's
It's
doing.
good though.
That's good.
Is that good?
Yeah, just
we're close
right
enough.
there. That's perfect.
Okay,
yes.
good. Then we don't have to be kissing.
Yeah, but you didn't have to block me. But you were actually extremely rude to me, and I literally didn't. All I was telling you, this last week, you're just so rude.
I told you. I told you I wasn't.
And what did I say?
don't wanna
I wasn't
know-
gonna tell you shit.
I don't want to even know if you liked it. I don't want to hear any
I
kind
wasn't
of
gonna say that.
reaction
I told
from
people
anyone.
the same thing. I said Kevin Smith posted that it was a good movie on Instagram, and I was mad. Or someone told me there was no cutscene and cut credits, and I was
You
mad.
were told that already?
Multiple people told me that,
Really?
and then
a
people
spoiler
told
to
me
me.
when I was
That's
walking
a
into the
spoiler.
theaters.
That's a spoiler.
Yeah, that's the thing. I was like, I don't want to know anything,
And you just start slapping people up.
Yeah.
and I was like, I don't even want to know I don't want to see any more trailers. I saw the first 2,
Yeah.
and
You did
I
see
got
the
something to
last-
say about those though.
what?
The movie that they advertised is not the same fucking movie that I saw last night in the movie theaters,
Yeah. So why are you saying that?
because it was
Because the trailers were only
totally
the first 30
unexpected.
minutes. Yeah.
Not only that, there was things edited out of trailers.
Yeah.
yeah, they put a lot in the trailers, I think, that was not even in the movie at all,
Which
which
is
they
good.
did last time, and it's good. They marketed a movie for a year, and then that wasn't the same movie we saw.
Yeah.
Which was awesome.
Very much.
Yeah.
Now, I actually thought that within that first 15-minute TV spot, I think it was the most recent ones that I was like, no, I didn't want to see those 2. Because that gave me a little bit too much information.
Yeah.
I didn't see anything recently. I saw the big 2 trailers, maybe there was 3 big trailers, and then I don't watch any of the little ones because I was
Yeah.
just in case. I'm good.
I saw the first one and then the Super Bowl ad.
Yeah.
And that's it?
Yeah.
No, and then the next one.
was
No,
the longer
no.
one.
I stayed away from it. I remember I was at a friend's house and it came on. We were watching a hockey game and it came on and I turned around. He's
I
like,
watched it 10 times at work and overused my data.
you know who for I used to watch trailers all the time, and it was you on Facebook when Iron Man 3 came out.
What did I do?
You were like, I don't want to see a trailer. I don't want to see any more. I know this movie's going to be good. Blah blah blah. You're wrong about it being good.
Yeah, it's terrible.
But you were like, I don't need to see anything. Or maybe I think it was Iron Man 3.
Well, that had remember that had kind of a fucked up twist too.
Yeah.
Where they made Ben Kingsley look like he was
Ben
was going to be the guy, right?
Yeah.
The Mandarin, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a
Is that that or Hangover 2? I'm pretty sure it was Iron Man.
It was
I
Iron
remember.
Man. When do I?
Yeah.
I think I saw Hangover 2 in theaters, man.
Hangover 2, everyone was excited for.
I did see. I think I saw all of them in theaters.
I didn't see the third one. I actually kind of liked the third one. It was like so different. It wasn't super funny, but whatever. We're not here to talk about Hangover.
So, are you putting a spoiler thing ahead of this, or what's going on?
I will talk.
You're gonna have
in the
to.
intros, I'll
Yes.
put a
There's
spoiler.
you
for
can't
sure.
you can't really talk about this movie.
The title's
going to
be, spoiler, Endgame, spoiler. Like,
Yeah, can you put on the back
You
burner?
really can't. Like, if someone asks me this week at work, like, did you see it? Like, how was it? I'm not even going to say anything because you can't really talk about this movie without the whole movie is spoilers. Like, everything that happens in this fucking movie is like, we'll spoil something.
Yeah.
If you mention it.
Yesterday you were getting mad at me, and all I was just saying was like, stay the fuck away from
Oh, I'm
Instagram.
off. I was
like,
off
as soon as
everything.
I got on, like, some kid in the theater in front of us, like, he was being a douchebag, like, because he said he kind of saw spoilers online, but then he was like making a joke to his buddy before the movie. He's like, Iron Man dies, but he was like making a joke. Like, I don't think he knew, but like.
But you're saying things that people are just assuming, like the fan theory crap anyway.
Yeah, which is fine. Like, so he's kind of be a douche, but then like you're like inside your head, you're like, well, what if he's being serious and like trying to, like that whole thing.
I think it's about how these things happen,
Yeah.
and not so much what's happening.
Yeah.
That's what throws you. Like you said with the end credit scene, like for you to be told that.
But there was something.
Well, okay.
I don't know what it Matt explained it to me.
It's like they didn't set anything up. It was like, I think it was like a little callback. It was the sound of. Did you catch it?
No, I left.
Oh, okay.
Well, it was 1:30 in the morning,
there wasn't.
and I had to work at 5.
there
I had to
was-
get up at 5:30.
There was no end credit scene like they traditionally do, where they didn't set anything up, which was good because this is the end of the first 10 years. Now they can start building up from where to go from here. And all that happened was it shows like the Marvel logo at the very end, and you hear the clanging of metal, which I'm pretty sure is supposed to be like
Iron Man.
him making that first
Yeah.
suit.
In the very first movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty sure that's what it was.
It was a nice little thing. It's a nice way to end it because
I'm
really
glad.
gonna show you.
I'm glad they didn't show anything. I'm glad they didn't try to set something up because it's like now we're just gonna be waiting again. Like, no, you got to build up from the beginning again.
Yeah. So
You know?
Spider-Man, and I don't even think Spider-Man's kicking off this new series.
You think what I think?
No.
that it's before.
They said that
I think it's
Spider-Man.
after.
Spider-Man
They said
is,
it was after.
Spider-Man is gonna be like a little epilogue to this phase, like how Ant-Man came out after Age of Ultron, but it was still part of
Yeah.
that section of the movies. Like,
Yeah.
and then it wasn't. What was after Ant-Man? Doctor Strange?
No, Captain Marvel.
No.
no,
The first
after
Ant-Man.
Ant-Man.
Oh,
Yeah,
first
the
Ant-Man.
Was it Civil War?
Yeah.
Okay, and then
Yeah.
that kicked off the next series, right? Yeah, it'll be like that.
Which is Phase 3, right?
But I wonder, like, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised now if Spider-Man actually does take place before Infinity War.
like it's a field trip, right? So at the beginning of Infinity War,
And he leaves
that's
his,
a field trip.
Yeah, he leaves his suit at home, right? So like in Homecoming, he says like, "Oh, I'm not gonna bring my suit. Like, I need to get away."
Oh, I didn't.
So he talks about getting away, and I remember reading or hearing someone say, "Well, it's most likely like he's upset about dying in Infinity War, and he's back now, but he's upset about Robert Downey
But
Jr.
this
dying."
is the thing is like,
Spoiler.
what if you already mentioned it before and I didn't say anything?
Please.
Like, you already dropped Iron Man died or way earlier.
Yeah.
The thing with these movies now is like, if like Black Widow is going to be a prequel, obviously, right?
Yeah.
Because she died.
Okay, and we're off.
Yeah.
I'm surprised there's more characters didn't die.
Me too.
Well,
Okay.
The order of the way it went,
Yeah. I didn't expect her to go, but
but like you knew the second they got on that
some.
ship.
I'm like, one
I
of
kinda
them's
thought
gone.
He was gonna die.
But that's the best part of that scene is like, well, maybe not the best part, but like you don't know what's gonna happen. Like,
Yeah.
who's going over that fucking cliff?
Yeah.
And even at the last second, it's like you
think
still
it's
don't.
him,
You
yeah.
think it's him, but it's not. Like, you still don't. They flip it. It's fucked.
I thought it was gonna be him because I think he always had like a thing for her, and
And you knew that was the thing of like he would lose what he loved the most, right?
Yeah, but like he's also like if he dies, he brings back his family. But like that phone ringing, not even him seeing his family, that phone ringing and seeing her face, I was like,
Yeah, that was cool.
That was cool.
But the moment that happens, as Ant-Man just staring at the ship,
I thought
We
Ant-Man
are going to
died.
be all over the fucking place.
That's
with
okay.
This.
I don't
Which is
care.
totally
I
fine.
don't care.
Like I just realized, like we're not going in like a linear path through this movie. We're just jumping all over, and it's fine.
Okay,
because there's so much. It's like, how do you fucking process this
without like this? Let's just do a quick number. Would you give it out of 10? Would you give it out of 10? How many Thanos snaps out of 10 would you give it?
How many dusts
out of 10? Oh man, it's like an 8 or 9, a solid 8, maybe a 9. I don't know if I'd give it a 10 because there is a couple tiny things that it wasn't perfect, but it was like it blew me away. Like the shit they did in it was like, I was like, I can't believe this is happening. So yeah, 8 or 9, maybe 10, maybe 10.
I like every movie, so I end up going 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10?
Then you will ridicule me on the shit that I like.
Yeah.
But
not really.
At the same time, no, I would go with a solid 9.5 for sure.
Okay.
Because there were moments like the silliness of the, like, I get it's going to be funny. And
Yeah.
I love it. And Thor, like we were saying, Thor is fucking funny. And they figure that out, like you were saying too. Like every movie, they give him a little bit more.
Yeah.
Of
And
that,
he was,
like,
because he was talking about walking away after the Dark World.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. He talks about how bored he was.
Well, then they gave him like it's weird because the guy's funny, Hemsworth. Like you're saying, he starts out in like he was a model.
Yeah, there's
right?
clearly
He's
a
just
point.
Hulk guy.
There's clearly a point where they're making these movies and they realize how funny this guy actually was.
Yeah.
And they just kind of let him go and do whatever in these movies, like Ragnarok.
Was fucking
You know,
hilarious.
and it probably started around Dark World because there's some funny bits in Dark World.
When he hangs up the hammer.
That exactly, yeah.
It was like, that was
I'm like, I don't think anybody wrote that. Like someone thought to do that as a joke. So he's like his arc is my favorite probably. But yes, what would you give it?
I would give it a 9 out of 10. And I have things that I didn't like about the movie. That final fight scene is the greatest fight scene in the history of movies. Step aside Lord of the Rings.
The 3-on-1? Is that what you're talking about?
No,
No,
that-
he means
that
like
battle.
the Marvel
Yeah.
heroes
Okay.
versus.
Yeah, so fuck Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
Like Return of the King. That fight seems cool and all, right? Like
Yeah.
Game of Thrones maybe tonight.
Right.
They might,
Longest battle scene
you know,
in history or something
they
like
might
that.
do a really good job. But let's be real here. Like,
That's what we want to see.
yeah, that was I think the greatest fight scene in movie histories, like war scenes. I've never felt so much emotion in a movie than like, you know, I knew Spider-Man was coming back. I know there's a Spider-Man movie in July, right? When that portal opened and I saw Black Panther walk out, I thought it was Spider-Man, and I was like, my heart was pounding.
But it worked better with
And then they
Panther.
showed Doctor Strange and I saw Spider-Man swinging in. Like even now,
Dude,
I'm like,
the number
I screamed in the theater. So
the number of times that I almost started like really crying
yeah,
watching this movie, and I'm not ashamed to say it, like this was an emotional fucking roller coaster if I've ever seen one in my life.
yeah,
It was crazy, man.
yeah.
How many times did people almost start clapping too? Where we were
Oh, we
looking at each
clapped a
other like,
bunch, yeah.
But like,
I was
you
the one
went
who
opening
clapped
night.
when
the
Captain
opening
Marvel
night.
got punched by Thanos. I was like, yeah,
headbutt, bro.
fuck you.
No, because remember he grabbed the power stone and
Oh,
tried to
right,
hit
that's
her.
what you're saying.
I
clocked her nice.
did not like I did not like Captain Marvel at the beginning of that
hey,
movie.
and you were kind of right
You're
in the
kinda
sense
right.
that
Yeah.
she wasn't a big part of the movie.
Yeah.
She came in once or
Oh,
twice.
I know. I almost said it a few times to Sam.
Oh, okay. And she's like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
I'm trying to watch this movie.
She's still obviously going to be a big thing going forward in the overall picture.
But I like what they did. They made her a
Because-
key part
because
to
it's
take
a-
the torch.
This movie, if anyone complains about, oh, there's no Spider-Man in it till the end or whatever, like, you know, like certain characters not showing up or being in it enough, it's not about them. This is about the end of the original 5 or 6 of them
100%
together.
agree. Like
It's
I
their
was saying,
story.
Spider-Man is my favorite. Like my dog is named Parker.
Yeah.
Like I didn't want it to be about Spider-Man. I didn't want Spider-Man to save it. I wanted to see him in the fight,
Right.
like come back. But I wanted this to be about Captain America and Iron Man.
And it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In full
Black
force,
Widow's story was great.
Yeah.
Hawkeye was great.
Once she went down, it did feel right. I'm like, she's got nothing to tie herself back to them.
Yeah.
Except the Avengers. It's like that one last sacrifice he can make.
That's what she said, because she said it at the beginning, right? Like, I didn't have anything
Exactly.
until
Yeah.
this job.
Wasn't that fucked? To see her hair grow out and she's all disheveled. And
Yeah,
she's
she's
trying to
still
keep
hot as
shit going.
shit.
But like, she's trying to keep shit going.
She looked pretty good.
She's
Thor
doing just fine.
Thor was amazing. Cap was fantastic. Iron Man, fantastic. Hawkeye was great. Black Widow was great. Hulk,
Yeah.
People, yeah.
Not a big fan of what they did with Hulk, but I respect it because I couldn't believe that they did it. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was like
Dabbing.
not into that was ridiculous. Like the Professor Hulk, Mr. Fix-It kind of thing. It was silly. I don't care what anyone says, it's fucking silly. The whole time he's like that, I was like, this is really silly, but I gotta respect that they did it. You know, that I didn't think they would ever do that in the book or the movies rather, because it's in the comics. It's at certain points.
That's kind of how I felt about Thor when we first when you first go into his house. I was like, oh, he's gonna be like right away. I was like, he's gonna be fat because we didn't see him right away. I was like, there's something wrong.
You thought
with
that
him.
was gonna happen?
Yeah. No. When we're in the house.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Not before the movie. I wasn't like they're gonna make Thor fat.
No.
Like when he's in the house, you don't see him right away. I was like, oh, he's gone to shit.
Yeah.
And I thought and I was talking to Matt about this because he didn't like Fat Thor.
I love Fat Thor.
Yeah.
And at the beginning, I didn't like it because I was just like, oh, they're just going to figure out a way.
Relief.
It was silly at the start.
Yeah, they're just going to figure out a way. He's going to get hit by a lightning bolt and be skinny and be sexy again. And it was going to be a quick kind of thing. But the longer it went on, it was like him dealing with killing Thanos, him dealing with not killing Thanos earlier. Because he was talking to his mom about cutting off Thanos' head, and he's like, there's his head lying there, and it didn't change anything.
Because he killed him, but it's like, it doesn't change anything.
No.
Everything still happened.
It humanized him, because before, he's never been human. He's always been a god. He's never always been, he can't get hurt. You never see him bleeding. He lost his eye one time, and then he got a new one. Nothing ever happened to him, except for him getting his hair cut, to change him.
But he wasn't a team player. That's the thing. It's he'll go out and kill Thanos on his own, puts it in his chest, fucks up, everyone dies. He comes back, has to cut the head off the guy. Yeah. Nothing happens. It was just for him, right? Yeah. And then he just fucks
But it didn't
off.
do anything. No,
Yeah.
it didn't
so
change
Fat
anything.
Thor was amazing.
He was incredible. His whole thing through the whole movie, the Big Lebowski references was
Which
great.
only 2 fucking people laughed at, and it was us.
Me and
I
him.
laughed at it.
But it was a kid's audience. We were there with 15-year-old boys next to me and
There was
chatting up a little bit at the beginning.
Yeah, I know.
I had to tell
them
real quick.
Put him in their place.
One guy was on
Yeah.
his phone next to me in the previews. I was like,
Dude,
put it away.
the first 5, what was it? The first row had 5 empty seats right up until the fucking beginning of the movie. And then these guys come in with their cell phone lights looking for the chairs. And I'm just trying to ignore that until the boys next to us start talking. I'm like, just a quick shut the fuck up. But then how intimidating do I look when 2 hours later I'm...
yeah.
and I couldn't hold it together as good as he could. I was like, I'll use the 3D glasses to mask it, but I'm just...
Yeah.
What I say, I was Matthew McConaughey in Interstellar when he's watching the clock back and he's laughing and just losing his shit.
I love those
man.
videos. What are these the ones where he's like? I think my favorite one is probably when it shows him watching. I think it's the Force Awakens trailer.
Yeah.
It's so fucking funny, man.
We won't even talk about the Star Wars trailer today, but
We can.
There wasn't much there. It was great.
Palpatine's coming back, cool. But we got to focus this on Endgame.
And I didn't know until I know we do, but I didn't know until I saw it on the big screen that at the very end before his laugh that's pieces of the Death Star.
That's the Death Star.
I didn't see that
The second Death Star. I
because I'm
think.
watching it on my fucking little iPhone.
yeah, I didn't see it. At first, I was like, "Oh, this is a cool shot," and then I forget who I was listening to, but they talked about I saw a concept that there was an underwater Death Star.
That was from episode 7.
So that they're bringing it in now. So JJ brought it back, and I was like, "Oh, that was the Death Star." And then I rewatched it, and I caught it, and then I watched it in theaters again.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool artwork and concepts and ideas that they didn't do in episode 7.
Yeah.
That I wish they did. Like there's artwork that they did of the Death Star underwater, and the Falcons flying underwater.
Yeah.
And then I guess it's Rey swimming in the flooded throne room of the Emperor,
Oh, that's
so
cool.
I guess they had ideas to go back there, and he's bringing those back for this, which is good.
He's fixing the series.
That's what I was saying to him. The hype I had behind watching the Last Jedi trailer.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, this is going to be good. Like you said, visually it's great. So when you watch the trailer and they build it up, you go in there and it was just I'm looking around at people what the fuck is this? What are we watching right now? I know you guys already destroyed that.
I think it might be one of those movies where after episode 9, 7's better.
What do you mean?
I think 7's better than 8.
Because right now... Oh, sorry, 8. Sorry, 8.
Oh.
Sorry, 9's better than... 9 makes 8 better.
Okay.
Because we're going to watch 8 right now. We're like, oh, Rey's family's garbage people. Snoke's dead. All this stuff. We're left with nothing. Yeah. Luke's dead.
Shit that got built up and then they didn't do anything with.
Yeah.
Is what I didn't like.
Exactly. So maybe 9, JJ figures out a way to piece it all together.
But is he gonna tie up loose ends from the last movie? Is he gonna reference anything from that, or he just goes?
The Asian girl's back in it. No, I think he's gonna fix it. I think he's gonna figure out a way to fix it.
Okay, but how incredible was it when Captain America used the hammer?
Oh yeah. Okay. No, yeah. When he double fisted the hammer. Okay, so first, I was like, in the first 10 minutes of that movie with Captain Marvel, I was like, I'm ready to walk out of here. I can't take a 3-hour movie with fucking Brie Larson just being like, you didn't beat Thanos because you didn't have me before. Like, bitch. Like, no, that's not why we didn't beat Thanos. Like, she was driving me crazy. And me and Sam got in a huge fight after.
Really? Because you were talking shit about it.
Because she thinks I'm sexist. Because I don't like Jennifer Lawrence in X-Men, and I don't like
She's
Brie Larson.
awful in X-Men.
Don't start.
You could not like an actress. In that
Yeah,
movie.
so she thinks like I was being.
I don't like Brie Larson.
Like she kept saying like I don't like strong female leads, but I was just like, what?
That's not true.
Like I like so many, like Daenerys in
Game of Thrones.
Ray. Like I gave her a list of stuff, right? Like I have no problem. I have a problem with Brie Larson, and I have a problem with Jennifer Lawrence.
I don't think Brie Larson is that great.
Yeah. And like I know, like I was talking to a lot of people about it, and they're like, they kept being like, "Oh, I feel the same way with you," and then like all that shit she said in the interviews, and I was like, "Oh, I don't care about that." Like I literally care about her on the screen. I like how they cut her hair, and I like how they kept her out of 2.5 hours.
So he was saying that haircut is more aligned with what she looks like in the comics.
Yeah,
too,
the
right?
current,
That's
more
yeah.
current.
So that's why I liked it.
The look was awesome. She's not the best actress. That's it.
Yeah.
You just need someone a little more charismatic.
I don't think
to pull
she's
the
that
superhero
great.
thing
It's
out.
just the arrogance, maybe like because Sam was saying, "Well, when Robert Downey Jr. is arrogant, you like it," but I'm like, but he's like sarcastic and comedic.
How about this? If you had like Charlize Theron with that type of, I'm talking about a chick that knows how to act, right?
Yeah, know what? You're right.
She's
That might
a
have been
little old,
different.
but, like,
yeah,
she's
She has a
but
more
still.
commanding presence.
That's what I'm
yeah.
saying.
But you
And
might
that's
be
what
right.
want,
Like maybe
right?
someone like that. Like you didn't have me before from Charlize Theron, like how she was in Hancock. Remember she was kind of like bossy and
Yeah,
like that.
a little bit.
Maybe.
But you got in trouble for this.
I did. Besides the fun part. So when that hammer came flying through, I was like, in the theater, I was like, if that's Brie Larson,
No,
I'm gonna look
I
I
see
knew,
what you're
I
saying.
knew who it was because I'd been waiting for this moment since Ultron.
Yeah.
So how hard was your dick when he threw that hammer and the shield past Thanos and like made the shockwave?
Because he hit the shield.
Yeah, and it made that
Man,
shockwave.
the Mjolnir and Cap shield combos
Yeah.
were fucking crazy.
Yeah.
So good.
That's
He
good
was
to hear audible
he
from
was
everybody.
fucking kicking his ass.
Yeah,
Man.
fantastic.
Dude, I was looking, I literally grabbed my seat and was just like, fucking looking at people. I don't know why. Like, I love it, but I'm getting into it and I'm looking.
Because the second he does it, he has it, and then Thor's like, I knew it.
Yeah.
And it's like, yes, bitch. Like, you fucking knew it. He was
about-
always worthy.
Yeah.
Wielding both too, which
Yeah.
is fucking sick. At the beginning,
Yeah.
and like
When-
you said, the
when Thor had
transformation,
both, yeah.
and then he gets the braids.
Yeah.
But he still's got his belly. And
Yeah.
I like that. It
Yeah.
was cool. It's a new Thor.
I think in Guardians he's gonna be back to being skinny.
I hope he's not.
It would be great if he stayed the same, and it picks up with them looking for Gamora.
Yeah.
That's it. That's Guardians 3 with James
Yeah.
Gunn, and it's, well, like you said, we're in 2023 now, right?
Yeah. Present
On
day.
their timeline.
No.
Oh, they're in 2023.
Right, exactly. So
Yeah,
then
they're
if
in
you think about
2023.
it, the next movie, if Guardians is going to take, what, 2 years
They're saying 2022
before that movie comes out?
Yeah.
Okay, so there you go.
because they got to make. They haven't started. They've
So
scrapped
Guardians 3 could take place in 2023. Everything else in the next couple years can take place whenever, I think.
Yeah.
Because they got to fill in that gap.
There's
I think.
going to be a big lull between these movies, like the movies, like other than Black Panther and
Yeah.
Well,
Spider-Man.
I said fill in that gap. I mean, not you can't fill in that 5-year gap. We know what happened in that 5-year gap. Nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Because everyone was gone.
In
I mean,
meetings trying to deal
that
with their
5-year gap in the real world of movies coming out, you do with like prequels and spin-offs and TV shows. Until we get to 2023, maybe that's when we start getting like present day Marvel again. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Unless they could just, if they want to keep the movie timeline in line with like kind of in line like they've been sort of with our timeline,
Yeah.
like real life.
They
Then-
emphasize
yeah.
that in the movie when they, well, like, again,
5.
spoiler, when they go back in time.
Yeah.
And they just show 2012.
Yeah, 2014.
Yeah.
They tell you exactly. So they're on our timeline. It makes sense. I like that part of it. I like that they make it a realization for us. It's the same thing, right?
So a couple knocks in the movie that I heard were, fat. People didn't like Fat Thor. People didn't like
it was great.
Hulk, which we talked about.
Modern hype Hulk, I didn't like. Dabbing and doing all the shit. It was weird to me.
Yeah.
That whole moment, it just felt like even the kids weren't laughing at that shit. I didn't
but
find it dumb.
I think it was something they had to do because if you have, you need him to snap the fingers, right? Because he's he's made him.
He doesn't have to be that version of Hulk to do that, though. They can just be like, Hulk, do this.
But if he's angry Hulk, he can't control it.
That's true. I like like you said, it's Professor Hulk. It's what you want to see from the comics. I don't know. I don't read the shit.
It wasn't the books.
For the movies,
it wasn't the comics. Like I said, I didn't like it because I thought it was silly, but I respect it because they did it.
They had the balls
I was
to pull
like,
it off,
I can't believe this is real. I'm like, am I watching this movie right now? Like, we smoked before we saw it a little bit, so like we were like,
oh, I would have been straight.
I didn't think I smoked that much, but we went in like that, and so I'm watching this movie and I'm sitting there and I'm like, I can't believe this is happening. Like the Hulk thing, I was like, I can't believe this is happening. Like, is this real?
You were sitting there in realization.
I was like,
am I actually watching this movie?
Yeah,
right now? Are we here?
For real. And I can't really think of anything else I didn't like. Like, that was the only thing I thought was silly. Thor was kind of silly at the start, like with Korg and them.
Yeah.
That was too
much.
That's where I'm
playing Fortnite and
but
stuff,
but once they got him out of there and back to Avengers HQ, I really liked what they did to him when he's explaining his whole deal with Jane.
I forgot about this.
When they're like, okay, you're out. This is where because they got to find each of the stones at certain times in the past.
Yeah.
And they're like, where are they all at the same time? And then he's like, where's the reality stone? And so Thor gets up and he's drunk and he's just this fat Thor, Big Lebowski type dude. And he's like...
He had the sunglasses on.
Yeah, he had the sunglasses on. And he's like, okay, so here's the deal with this. They call it a stone, but not really. So someone should kind of go back and change that. Yeah. I don't know if you caught that, but he's like, someone should go back and...
He digresses so many times.
And then he starts going on about... he's like, basically, Jane touched this rock and then it got sucked into her. So she has the reality stone inside her body, so we have to get it out. And then he starts going off about his relationship with Jane.
Yeah.
And everyone's looking at each other like, what the fuck? Is he okay? Like,
dude, having Hulk look at him and having it being Ruffalo's face, and he's kind of giving him this wrap it up. That is why you want to see Professor Hulk.
Yeah.
It's for those little moments like that, or when he's sending Ant-Man back and forth.
Yeah.
And he's a kid and he's an old man.
Yeah.
And you're seeing him like, I love it. Here we go. It's all the shit in the face that I love.
Yeah. I heard some knocks that people didn't like the time traveling, like they were going back to other movies, which I kind of like because I thought when we were hearing about time travel in Quantum Realm, I thought they were going to go back to like the fight scene where Thanos has them and try and defeat him there. And I kind of had a feeling they were going to do it with Captain Marvel, Well, then all of a sudden he doesn't snap, everyone's alive, it's all good. But then as soon as they kill Thanos, and then as soon as Iron Man is like, I need to be here. At the end of the day, my family needs to exist. I was like, well, how they have to do it now. Yeah. They're going back, getting the stones. I liked it. Kind of connected the whole saga together.
They went back and they revisited these moments that you remember from the past 10 years. Yeah.
It gave closure for Tony and his
different
dad
points
too,
of view,
cool.
from different points of view, new points of view.
That's the thing I was saying about the Stark Tower from 2012. I'm like, did they? To me, it looked like they filmed some of that shit.
No, they didn't.
I know, but still, it looked like it. Like, and I'm
because
not
they're
saying
that good.
Yeah, and you're seeing it from this perspective of, I know we got Tony and whatever, little Ant-Man on his shoulder, but like you're seeing it from a different realm and them going down the stairs.
Well, we were seeing shit that they didn't show, like shit like them bringing Loki down into the lobby with they have the Tesseract and they have Loki in handcuffs, and then Pierce shows up. Robert Redford shows up with the S.H.I.E.L.D. agents. He's like, this is our property. We'll take him. Yeah. And and the present day Avengers know this is Hydra, not S.H.I.E.L.D. Like they're actually Hydra. Yeah. But the Avengers in that moment in time in 2012, they don't know that they're about to hand it over to
Captain America
Hydra.
Saying "Hail Hydra" when he's taking the spectrum.
I was going to say the elevator scene was incredible.
Another moment where I'm looking around at people because I'm like, do you remember this? But I can't say anything. Yeah. Oh, dude.
And he's "Hail Hydra." And you're like, fuck, he did it.
Because you think he's going to fight. You think it's going to be a fight. Yeah. And then in that moment, he just twists.
I'm glad they didn't, because I was like, I don't want them to just recreate all these moments.
Yeah.
Like, it have to be different. And so they set up that elevator scene from Winter Soldier, which is probably one of the coolest fight scenes in a movie ever. Dude. And, like you said, he's just like, I got point on the thing. I'll take it from here. And they're like, we didn't get any orders from whoever. And he goes, Hail Hydra. And they're like, oh, okay. And he takes it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It was so cool.
But yeah, so some people were saying that there's plot holes. They can shut the fuck up.
What plot holes?
Plot holes? Yeah.
So
explain.
Hear me out. Calm down. Because I've been sitting on this movie for 4 days. Like, I got home at 1:45 on Thursday night or Friday morning. Had to be up at 5:30. Did I sleep? Nope. Did I go to work the next day? And while I was putting up drywall, like, what the fuck?
Screw your finger into the board.
Just like thinking about the whole movie. So there is a little plot. There's not a plot hole. Sorry, I 100% think they did it on purpose.
Yeah.
What?
Can you put your phone down, buddy?
He's unblocking everybody from the past week that he thought could spoil the fucking movie.
What? Go. I'm listening.
When they go back to Avengers 1, they steal the Tesseract. They lose the Tesseract. Loki grabs it and runs away. So when they go back in time and put the stones back where they are, they put the Tesseract back in 1970. They don't put it back in Avengers 1. So Loki now is not a prisoner.
There's a separate timeline.
There's a separate timeline with Loki with the Tesseract.
And we were talking about that too.
Yeah.
Chill.
No, I'm fine.
I think I thought you were gonna yell
No,
at me.
I'm like, go on.
Yeah, I think they did that to set up the Loki TV show.
Yeah.
Because I kind of felt like it was going to be a prequel to the Loki TV show. Now I feel like it's going to be like a separate timeline, Loki with the Tesseract sort of thing, TV show.
Yeah.
And I think you were right before, because you were saying they're going to go back in time, change reality, and then now in 2020 there's going to be X-Men. There's going to be mutants, because you're like, how do they explain mutants the whole time? So I think them going back, screwing up the whole thing with Loki, somehow creates mutants. Maybe it's just a theory, but
I don't know.
the stone's gone from that timeline.
Yeah.
So
it would be nice to see them, because we're not going to see X-Men. We're not going to see Deadpool for a long time. We're
Yeah.
not going to see all those guys from
Unless they
Fox.
went back and put it. Unless they went back, Cap, and he put the Tesseract back to that moment, because then it would go back into the bunker. Anyways.
okay, yeah, I guess we don't see that.
So
yeah.
I don't know.
That was
He
just
says that he put everything back where it's supposed to go. So
That would be a movie in itself, is Cap going back and putting all the time stones back.
yeah.
yeah,
That's the thing, but we
100%.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that's a mission where he can take Falcon and Cap, but instead they go.
And then at the end he stays in this. As soon as he saw her, I was like, Agent Carter. I was like,
You think he was going to screw up in that moment?
no. I was
no.
like, the movie's gonna end with him going back to
how
19.
could he?
Because I was like,
The stakes are too high.
Okay.
Yeah,
I only have one-way trip.
I was like, oh, the movie's gonna end with him in 1970. Like, I thought it was gonna
he
go
would stay
back and
there.
he was gonna. I didn't say end. I like,
Right,
I was
but
like,
his
that's
story
where
would
his
end.
good story, because
Okay.
there was always talks he was gonna die. I didn't think he was gonna die, but just Robert Downey Jr. having a family and then saying like, this is what you need, Cap, and then like he sees her.
I don't think he went back to the 70s though. I think he went back to. I think
Well, he
he.
would've
I think
had
he put.
1970,
Here's
wasn't
what
it,
I think
literally?
happened with Cap. He leaves to go put the Infinity Stones back where they belong, so they don't fuck time up.
Yeah.
I think he did that, and then he went back further to the 40s to after he went under in the ice, and then he went to see her, and then they lived together, and then eventually present day he comes back and meets up with them in the right spot.
Oh, so you think he went to 1970?
I think he did the mission, put them all back, and then he went back again to the 40s or the 50s, whatever.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and
It
just
was
picks up right
1940s.
there.
Because it's not like he had one trip. Like they had the Pym particles to do it.
Yeah,
So he had a bunch with him.
yeah, I think you're right.
You
Yeah.
know, he could have come back
That's-
if he wanted to, but he
Yeah,
didn't.
I just assumed like he would end up he would put the shit back in 1970 and then just be like, "Sup, girl?"
Yeah, she would have been like,
Puts his arms up on like a still. Like,
she would have been. She would have been
Holding,
like
like, the
30
chopper.
years older than when they left each other, though.
so
too.
he doesn't.
I'm not
care.
saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying
Peggy
like
Carter, man.
I'm like he's gonna go back to the 40s when he left her originally.
In
you
her
know?
prime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And running the company, or at least had some.
I don't remember what it's called, but I think it's the 50s. She was because I didn't watch her TV series, but
I forgot.
I know Howard Stark is in
forgot
it.
she had one.
But yeah, it's like
Yeah,
she's,
nobody watched.
I think
it.
she's.
right?
I think they're basically running whatever the organization was that became Shield in Captain America, SS something. I don't remember what it was called, but whatever became Shield. That's what she was running originally.
Okay, so you thought Cap was gonna die too, right? At the
Until I
moment-
saw that.
Was it
scene.
the moment after he wielded the hammer,
No.
and then he's on the ground, and you just think as he brings that whole army in, spoilers again.
And he goes,
bring in the whole army, which I didn't think was gonna happen.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but
You're
he
allowed to
brought,
talk in the mic,
of course, but I think when he brought the entire army in, and Cap was standing there, and it was going to be that one last time that he can do this all day, yada yada.
Yeah.
I thought that was going to be the moment he's going to drive that fucking sword right through his chest. I thought he was going down hard.
I always was worried that he was gonna die. Like, but once I saw that, just like the scene of him seeing Peggy Carter, I was just like, how does he not end his story here?
Yeah.
I didn't love old Steve Rogers.
Why not? Dude,
They may have
it was a
loved
little
it.
too long.
They may have killed Cap in the comics, maybe several times.
Yeah.
But I think with like the movies, you got to give him his happy ending.
Yeah.
From all the shit he's been through, you got to give Captain America his happy ending, which they did.
Yeah.
So like I'm going in there and I'm like, he might die. Cap might die. Tony 100% is not making it out of this thing alive.
See,
had
before
it
the movie
reversed.
started,
Yeah, I
I
had it
thought
reversed.
Tony was making it out. I thought
Cap was going down.
because I thought like they could always use Robert Downey Jr. in movies later. He could be the next Nick Fury. Like, you know, he could, you know, like
The
maybe
next
not right.
Jarvis, like you were saying, or
not
he
that,
was saying. I
not
don't
that,
remember.
not right away, but say 10, 15 years from now, he's like an old guy, like, and he's, you know, he's helping the Avengers or something like that, like helping them build a team. Like I always thought that could be Tony.
I'm sure they'll bring him back somehow or another. I'm leaning more towards like the idea of an AI system.
like a Jarvis.
Like his
just the
daughter
voice.
creates a
Sure.
like an Iron Man thing,
Yeah.
and it uses his voice.
Yeah.
She's younger than I thought. I thought they were gonna play in a part where he
She's
was gonna
5.
see.
Well, she's 5 years old.
Yeah, I know, but I thought we were gonna see like a future setting too, of like him in the future seeing what, like, because he sacrificed himself, whatever.
Yeah.
That he was gonna see his daughter in the future, get that like feeling of like, okay, things are gonna be good while I'm gone.
Yeah.
Because the stakes, like for him, like he said, he's got a daughter now. For him to even show up, I didn't like the whole time travel thing too. Like you were saying, like when he showed the ring or whatever, the thing that he built, and then he just kind of goes down.
I like how he just solved it immediately.
But then he's kind of thinking, I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna hide it. You know what I mean? I'm gonna put it away. Of course.
Well,
they're not gonna
no.
do it.
Well,
Here's the thing when he
we
was
didn't watch Endgame. Like
Yeah,
you're not
that's
going
true.
into Endgame.
When he
You're
was-
like, it's gonna hide it and just raise a family.
when he was working on the time problem, trying to figure out how they would do it, where they enter at a certain point and target a certain point in time to get out of the quantum realm at. He was trying to figure out that problem, thinking it wasn't going to be that easy.
Yeah, and then you just like, oh,
But he did it.
Yeah.
Because remember when he's talking to the computer, he's like, here, try this one, and then try this, and it's processing, and he says something like, I'll check back in the morning, or something. He says something like, it'll probably take a while, and then he turns around, and it's like, dude, it's done.
Yeah.
And he's like, what? He's like, fuck, I did it.
So was he insinuating that he was working on? Because remember when he sits with Pepper on the couch,
yeah.
and he's kind of like asking her about her day, but literally doesn't care and just comes out and says, "I solved it."
Yeah.
Do you think in those 5 years he was running those simulations? Because
No.
it sounded like he just went into it right
Because
then.
I don't think he
No.
knew about. I think he was always in the back of his mind thinking of how he could fix it and bring, always in the back of his mind thinking how he could fix it. But I don't think he knew the quantum realm.
Until Scott presented the idea of going back in time,
Yeah.
that he probably was just
It was like that was
this
his
is nothing.
missing piece. You know, like
Yeah.
he knew there was. I think also we're going diving deep now. He knew there was a way for them to win. He knew there was one way.
Dude, when Strange put up his
Yeah.
finger, that was the moment.
And
like
he
you were saying, I
knew
was
that
like, oh,
Strange
shit.
had already, because when we, at the end of Infinity War, we knew that there was one way they were going to win. And Strange knew that. And Strange gave up the time stone. So we were always like, okay, well, he knows that Thanos has to have the time stone for us to win.
Mm-hmm.
For us. I got
like a hockey
That's
fan.
how invested I was in this.
Yeah, you're
Like
a hockey
sports
fan.
fan.
So, he must have been thinking, something. Sorry, I'm still sick a little. That's why I'm sounding all stuffed up. But
And you were using your voice a lot yesterday
Yeah.
too, screaming
yeah.
last names that you can't pronounce.
Yeah.
That was bad. I was laughing. I was talking to him, waiting to go on,
Yeah.
and then I'm hearing you try and pronounce fucking names over the
I
announcement.
gave up.
and I
man,
started
halfway
laughing at
through.
you.
Halfway
Oh, man.
through, I was just like, "Fuck these."
Well, it's
kids.
not like you're memorizing them before, and they're like 18 syllables.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
Anyways, I forgot what I was talking about, but yeah. So he knew there was one way to win. He even asked, Doctor Strange, "Is this it?
Yeah,
are
he's
we
like, "I
doing it so
can't
far?"
tell you.
And then yeah, we were right when he held up that one. I was like, "Oh no."
Yeah, he was like, this is it.
Yeah. And he snapped his fingers. Oh, it was beautiful.
How awesome was that? Even Hulk, seeing him snap the fingers was awesome
Yeah.
too, man. Having that happen as the gates, like I said, him battening down the hatches,
Yeah.
Iron Man putting up the shield, all this shit happening when you thought Ant-Man. I thought he was dead too.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Hulk snaps his fingers. with the new gauntlet they made,
And they all come back.
and brings everybody back. Like, it worked
To where they
were
were.
like, it worked, and then they get attacked. So from that point onward, you're just waiting for everyone to show up because everyone is back
Yeah.
wherever they were.
But you kind of forget
and
about
then
it. Do you know what I'm saying?
I
Like,
didn't.
after the snap wall, I was so invested in that battle, too.
Everyone's back wherever they are. Someone's got to bring them back, like to this location to fight. So I'm waiting for that moment because I'm like, they're gonna have that big fucking thing where it's gonna have everybody there.
Yeah.
Dude, that fucking part when he started opening up the whatever they're called. What is it called when
Portals?
he opens up the portals and they start coming out from everywhere? And then Mars. Oh, dude, yeah, I'm not up to date on all the words. When they come out.
Mars.
Yes, or where were they? Not Mars. It looked like Mars.
They were in Thanos' like
Titan,
homeworld.
Titan.
Yeah.
Looked like Mars. I'll take that.
Titan's a moon on.
Not this Titan.
Titan is the name of a moon on Saturn.
Thank
near
you.
Saturn, but
it's
that's
a
not where he
planet,
was.
Titan.
Oh, okay. I only know that because of Destiny, the video game.
Oh God.
I play that way too much.
What was I gonna say about you? Oh, the pacing of the movie between that and Infinity War. How Infinity War was just it hit you with things.
But
Every 10 minutes,
Infinity
something
War was
happening.
like a way more of a straight linear story, whereas this one kind of was
Jumped
a little
all
more
over
all
the
over the
place.
place.
Yeah. But it was a gradual build.
Yeah.
Right. It built and built and built.
It felt like 3 movies.
I like in Infinity War, I was mad because I was like, man, we didn't see Captain America and Iron Man be friends again. And then in this movie, I was like, yeah, they're gonna be friends, obviously. And then, but they weren't right away.
No,
Oh
but
man,
you
when he gets
felt
back,
it.
he's like, "Fuck you! You weren't there for us."
You felt it, and he's ripping his fucking chest piece off and stuff.
And then he says, "I don't trust you."
Yeah.
And then near the end of the movie, he asked Captain
Called him a
America.
liar
Yeah,
to his
Captain
face.
America. Yeah, you called
Hurt me.
America a liar. He asks Captain America. He's like, "Do you trust me?" And Captain America was like, "Yes." Like,
and that's when they had to make the second jump to go get the pin particles and all that stuff.
Right.
yeah. So that was cool. But him giving Captain America the shield again, he's like,
That was great.
yeah,
right?
keep it under the down
that a
low because I didn't
tearjerker?
bring enough for everyone. You bastard, you're hilarious.
Did you openly weep?
Like 12 times.
Okay.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
What was the moment for you? Because there were some joyous moments, and then there were some painful ones. Like
Iron Man dying obviously was one.
but him seeing Spider-Man when he comes back and gives him that hug.
Man, yes.
That's where I start convulsing.
I was already like tearing up. I've already teared up multiple times through the movie. I'm a big little bitch.
Yeah. I get it.
I think
So
I
am I.
even teared up a little bit like with I want to say like the part where like right at the beginning where Hawkeye doesn't see his family. Like I was like, I'm
because
already
it wasn't
hurt.
like he saw them get dusted. He turned his head and
they
she's
were
gone. And then he turns his head and then they're gone.
There was just so much like, but that part when Spider-Man starts swinging in like was just
was sick.
like I was tearing. I like if I
You were
like,
cheering?
tearing.
Okay, good.
Like I was screamed in the theater, just like ah! I just stood up like.
Dude.
I took off my glasses and they're all sweaty at the end. Like,
Oh yeah, I took them off a few times to wipe them, but I was pretenting like they were fogging up. But no, I'm wiping
You were
my
wiping
tears.
tears.
Yeah, the kids I'm telling to shut the fuck up an hour before are looking at me like you fucking pussy.
yeah.
Because they're not weeping. They don't give a fuck.
Well,
they
that
really don't.
That happened to me in Infinity War. Like, there was a black guy next to me by himself, and like every time Black Panther did something, he was loving it.
Yeah.
And he seemed this like this tough, dark, like Wesley Snipes dark guy, right? Like, just the whole movie, like he seemed tough, but every time Black Panther did something, he was there, right?
What'd you think of?
But
Of
oh, that's in the story.
no, sorry.
Black Panther dies. I like
you mean
looked over.
Infinity War.
Yeah, Infinity War. I
And he's
looked
a little-
over and he was
No.
just like, I felt his soul leave the body, and I laughed. I was like, ah! And
That's
then
it, man. That's
all
the
of a
king.
sudden it was the Peter Parker part, and I was like, oh! I looked at him like, do you want to hold each other?
Oh my
like, like,
What did you think of? What did you think of Falcon becoming Captain America at the end instead of Bucky?
well, because there's, I am not 100% right on this, but there is a Falcon TV show.
It's Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah. So why I think they're doing it, because they both become Captain America at one point.
Yeah.
The reason why I think they're doing Falcon is because Falcon isn't cool. Falcon doesn't sell T-shirts.
Falcon's black.
We will be selling T-shirts.
Yeah.
I'm saying, I don't think they can make, because one of them is going to be the next Captain America.
Yeah.
And chronologically in the comics, it's Bucky, and then Steve comes back, and then Sam is Captain America.
Yeah.
But in today, like real life, I think they have to go with Sam
That makes
because
sense, yeah.
he's the black guy.
I get that. I didn't think that right away because I thought.
Not that I have a problem with it. I'm like, as if they picked some other random dude, I'd be like, what the fuck? It should be this guy or this guy.
Yeah.
But I wish, because I like Bucky's whole look as Captain America.
Yeah.
Yeah, and because Falcon just looks like Falcon with stars and stripes.
Yeah.
You know, and
I just
Bucky's
think
looks way cooler.
Bucky, like, there's like you can Winter Soldier. I think still sells. I think I was
still
walking
my favorite
around.
movie. That's still my favorite of
It's
the
the
whole thing.
I think Winter Soldier's the best movie they ever made.
But don't you think? Now, just saying, with Bucky,
Yeah.
he's a Soviet spy basically through his entire lifetime of this movie. So it doesn't really make sense to make him a Captain America anyway.
That's the other
you know
thing.
What I'm saying?
Yeah.
But he's got the powers. He's got the metal arm. With Falcon, he's got fucking wings, and he's stabbing motherfuckers with it. But that's all.
I
he's
like
got.
that. Sam looked at me.
That
He's
was
like,
awesome,
When did he
dude.
ever
I
stab
loved-
someone? I was like,
never.
I don't think he has.
That was brutal.
Yeah.
I loved. I'm looking at him like, fuck yeah, that was awesome.
Finally.
Like, he's not shooting little pistols
Yeah.
and stuff, right?
But like I remember walking around one of my coach wears a Captain a Winter Soldier rash guard. Like I see people
Nice.
Winter Soldier like that silver arm.
Dude,
that's cool. Like that sells toys, right? Like
It's
Falcon
infested in the gym.
doesn't sell toys, right? You need something to make them cool. So now
Make
these
him
ca-
Captain America. That's it.
It was very shortly after the debut of Black Panther, the movie.
Yeah.
I was at the gym and I saw a dude with the Black Panther rash guard shirt, and
Full spats.
he had he had his haircut and his goatee.
Tremendous.
He was trying to look exactly like Chadwick Boseman
Yeah.
from the movie, and I was like, yeah, not there yet. Like you got a lot of work to fill in
He
that
starts
fucking
talking
shirt.
with a Wakanda accent,
Yeah,
Oh my God.
I just remember
You're
seeing
done
him
with
and
the
being like,
second
come on, man.
Dude, do you see that a lot at your gym? It's the full-on rash guards of the Captain America, the Spider-Man, all that
Do you
shit.
ever
No,
see any
not a whole
Vegeta
lot.
ones, like any Dragon Ball
Dude,
ones?
I
very
competed
very
against
seldom.
guys that have
very
that.
seldom. Usually those guys are like white belts. They're cool at first, and then they get rid of them.
White
Now
belt
They're
division-
not cool.
No. I've white belt division had to fight a guy in full Vegeta rash guard. It was
Yeah.
tremendous.
one of the black belts I train with, his wife, who's a blue belt, she wears Spider-Man tights and rash guard, like full sleeve underneath her gi, so it just pokes out a little bit. So
Nice.
that's cool. And then my coach wears a Winter Soldier one, but that's about it. That's all I see.
We got one dad in the gym that's full Ninja Turtles, eh?
Oh yeah.
Full rash guard and the gi on top.
Yeah.
And he's a teacher, right? So he's like when he's teaching the basics class and stuff, he's full on teacher mode too. He's like shutting the lights off in the gym, putting them back on.
Yeah.
And we're just like, man, rolling our eyes. But full Ninja Turtle, and his favorite guard is Turtle Guard.
Of course.
Like, he's doing sweeps from Turtle Guard and stuff. I'm like, buddy, come on.
Yeah, like even I'm not that lame. Have you seen my Ninja Turtle gi?
You threw it on when we rolled on your carpet in your old place.
Oh,
like when
okay.
I first came up to visit
with
you
the
in Ottawa.
the shell on the back and
Dude,
stuff.
it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Well, that was a mistake too because we rolled on carpet. And
Yeah,
when I left your
felt
house
that-
and went to
yeah,
his
I
house,
felt
I
that
got
after-
burns
yeah.
all over myself.
It was
What
worth
the fuck
it
is Yeah,
because that was the
a good
first time we rolled.
Yeah, that was a good time, man.
I'm so bored now.
Of course, because we switched
Okay,
it into
so-
physical activity.
We pretty much talked about
No, I'm,
everything.
I'm very tired. We've been up really late both nights.
Yeah, we had a good weekend.
Like
Watching,
another thing,
Warrior.
we talked about it a little bit.
Oh yeah, have you seen this?
This was
this
awesome.
show Warrior. We started watching this the other night. It's on what was it? Cinemax. We watched two of them.
Isn't that like half porn
No,
stuff?
that's Skinemax.
Oh, okay.
This show Warrior is based on like some Bruce Lee stuff, and it's
Oh.
about like Chinese immigrants in San Francisco. It's like 1890 something.
Yeah.
But this guy is like Bruce Lee, the main character. It's fucking nuts. The fighting choreography in the show is wild, and just it's like Wild West type kind of thing, but they're Chinese.
Yeah.
You should check it out.
It's
Even if you
brutal.
can't if you can't find the show or something on Crave or whatever,
Dude, check it out.
like look it up on YouTube just to like check it out.
Sure.
Because it's rad, man.
And
You'd
the way
probably
they
dig
switch
it.
back from Chinese, like there's subtitles and there's Chinese, but then they'll do this weird like audio camera switch where they'll pan over and then now they're speaking English. So now you're understanding what these guys are saying. So it's not like a full subtitled like
that's cool.
Chinese.
It's
action
only
show, right?
subtitled when the Chinese are talking to the Americans,
Right.
so that so then you're on like the Americans' point of view,
Yeah.
and then it switches, so they'll be talking Chinese to each other, the Chinese characters, and then all of a sudden they're talking English to each other because it's like, okay, now we're inside their head.
They don't have to focus on the words and figure out what's going
Yeah,
on. And
it's
you're not
pretty
watching.
rad. I would watch the whole
audio
thing
switch
in
up.
Chinese with subtitles. I don't
How many
mind that
episodes
stuff.
Was it 6? And we only went down
I only
to-
had 3 of them. I think that's all that there was of it. I think it must have
I
just
think
started.
you'd like it for the martial arts aspect.
Yeah, it's really fucking cool.
I don't watch a lot of TV. I play too many video games, but I try. Like, there's so much stuff I want to watch. So
Yeah, I don't know how you're
list.
gonna get it. I don't know how I'm gonna finish watching it because I'm leaving today.
I have I just
Get a
buy things on
VPN
Xbox.
and download them.
I don't have a computer. This
Yeah.
is where I'm at.
I have an
got my
Xbox.
phone.
Like I just buy everything on my Xbox. Like, just,
Oh, yeah, you go
it's
for
$3 an
$6.
episode. Like whatever. I've already pre-ordered Endgame.
It might be up there. You check.
Probably
ordered
is.
it. What do you mean?
You
As
can-
a movie?
Yeah. So it comes like movies get released digitally 2 weeks before they're actually on DVD.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like $30 for Ultra HD, and like it was like, would you like to pre-order Endgame? I was like, yeah,
Why not?
I want to own it. Might as
awesome.
well. Like so.
And it's only gonna be what 3 months, 4 months before it's out anyway.
Yeah, I'm gonna go
But
see it
it'll
again
be
in
on.
theaters.
It'll
for
be
sure.
on.
I'm going back.
I'd like to try to get back to see it too, just because there's
Tuesday.
so much. It'll be on Disney Plus. It won't be on Netflix.
It's pretty much sold out, like all the way till
God damn it! I need
till
to go
March
back.
7th or something. My friend originally saw, but like there's probably screenings here and there that'll have a couple seats that you could probably.
It was just
see.
too much.
I don't. Oh, I don't
take
need to
in.
see it again right away. It's like I'd like to see it before it's out of theaters. I would like to see that again.
The movie was so good and so fun that I was wanting to see Detective Pikachu and John Wick 3 in theaters, and now I'm like, you know what? I'll probably just save my money to see Endgame.
That's
again.
the other thing. Is I want to see both of those as well.
Yeah.
And it's there's a lot going. Like, next Saturday is our buddy's birthday, so like the Saturday, I don't think I can go to a movie.
Yeah.
Which I normally would now because like remember I said, well, my girlfriend works Saturday, so I would go to a movie.
Yeah.
Because it's usually something she doesn't care if she sees or not.
Like Detective Pikachu.
Yeah. Or
Yeah, I wanna
Hellboy.
see that.
But I'm like,
But
I'm
I'm
like,
saying your girlfriends don't want to see that shit.
Sam does, but yeah.
yeah.
Nice, okay, that's good.
So I want to see John Wick. I want to see Pikachu, but I've a thing next weekend, but then we have Comic-Con the weekend after, the Saturday after, on the 11th.
Oh shit, yeah.
And then the next weekend, I think my mom's coming, so I'm like, when the fuck am I supposed to see all
You
these
just gotta
movies?
Go see it
during
with
the
your
week,
mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta go see Detective Pikachu with mom. That's
So the day the movie I was going in theaters, I was working with a guy who downloaded it illegally the day before, and I was like, "Don't say
Endgame?
shit." Yeah, and so it was already leaked, like a cam version.
Your buddy said that he downloaded it instead of
my
going to
buddy
the
watched
It
theater.
was in
Friday
China
night.
2 days before.
Yeah, so that's what it is.
And
But
he
he
downloaded
downloads
it
it.
illegally. But I was like,
fucking
But I'm
dumb.
like, you take.
It's so stupid.
It's not about that too, but you're taking away
The-
what it looks like when you see it. Take away IMAX.
It's an
even if you go to a
experience.
regular theater, like you're seeing it happen. We all look like someone was there.
Intruder coming.
"That's my wife, the person who pays the bills."
And this podcast is brought to you by PJ's wife,
Amazing.
Samantha.
Good for her for getting that shit going too. That's awesome.
She's doing
See,
really
I'm
well.
following her
Yeah,
on
she's
Instagram, right?
she's slowed it down just a little bit at the moment. She's working on some projects that like she's gonna launch.
Yeah.
But so these projects take time. They're not making a lot of money, but like they're gonna launch and then they're gonna make money, right?
Right.
So, but now I have a job, so
Yeah, I was gonna ask. So you're working again,
yeah.
and you're doing contract.
Oh, I got I got accepted to school.
you did.
Yeah,
did get it.
I had to pass a math test, so I took the math test, and I guess I passed.
How
Where?
did that go?
I had to take it in Algonquin. I had to go with like
Oh,
there
you're
was like
going to
20 people
Algonquin?
there. Yeah,
For what?
computer development and game design.
Okay.
Nice.
Wait, game development,
2 years.
computer design.
Yeah, whatever.
Whatever.
Oh my god.
3 years. But yeah, the math test, I was studying a little bit, and there was 2 math tests I had to do. One of them I actually did better than, it was multiple choice. The second one, I was like started it, and I was like, oh my god, like I didn't study
not
any of
what you
this, like, and I was like, oh, like it's like solve for R, what's WVC, like it was like weird shit like
No,
that, right?
that's I check out. That's
So the first one, like it was all like algebra, like hard math, stuff like that. Like I was able to crush that, and I had refreshed a little bit on it, but like that's what I was really good at in school. So it was like the test was supposed to take 3 hours, or they said I had 3 hours. I finished that in like 15 minutes. I was like, sweet, like, and I looked around. I was like, I'm gonna be one of the first ones gone, and then I was like, oh, there's a second one I have to take, and it was not
within
easy.
the same 3 hours.
Yeah.
You have to take them both.
The second one took me about like an hour, like, and I had like 6 sheets of paper out, like trying
working
to
your problems.
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
No, that's not
But-
my
oh,
strong suit, man.
My dogs are gonna go insane.
Uh oh. Amazing.
So we do good foods. So someone's dropping off.
I'm gonna let the dog out.
Rough. Go do it. Just go do it. Let me just touch Sam. Oh no.
That's meal prep that you get. Is that what you're saying? Food delivery?
No, it's like recipes. So they send us
okay,
like these 3 things recipes, and like they're pretty healthy.
With the food too?
Yeah.
So
Oh, yeah,
like
it's all-
Blue Apron style?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
nice.
it's like this with this little portion of olive oil in here. Like
Nice.
it's really good. The food is amazing. So we get 3 weeks, and usually it's pretty healthy. Like,
Is it expensive?
no, it like surprisingly not as expensive. Like, it's still like it's $65 a week for 3 meals for 2 people.
You know what though?
It's $10 a person. Like, you go to McDonald's, like
You buy groceries for 2 weeks, you're going to spend about the same probably anyways.
So, but
we
yeah,
gotta-
it says on our box, don't ring doorbell, just
Really?
leave it
Hilarious.
front. Like, and every time.
We got a guy in Oshawa, rampant chef. Same shit. Half the guys in our gym will use this meal prep guy, but it's amazing food.
Yeah.
But again, it's like $12 a meal.
Yeah.
Your protein, but I'd rather pay that than go to the grocery store, right?
Okay, so we probably could wrap up this Endgame talk. Is there anything more you want to add?
Not really. I mean,
What happens next? Other than the things that they have planned, when do we see an Avengers title
not
on
for a
screen
while.
again? And we were talking
There's going to
about
be
this.
years before we see Avengers.
Like, will I be married with a kid by the time we see it?
No. Fuck that. God, no. No, but it'll be a while before we'll see some little team ups like how like Thor at the end ends up with the Guardians. So like Thor will probably be in Guardians 3 if it takes place after Endgame. So there's like that little team up kind of thing. There'll be small team ups. We're not going to get a full Avengers team movie
I think
for
5
a while.
years. I think
probably
5 years.
5 years. But even in 5 years,
Doctor
like,
Strange, Captain Marvel, Black Panther.
but we
But you
still
think it
have
happens
to.
after that? No.
They
You gotta
still
set
have
it
to.
up still.
Yeah, they're going to
There's
set it
a-
up with those 3.
Fantastic Four and X-Men need to be brought in at some point too. So within 5 years,
Yeah.
I think they'll probably lean more into that than Avengers.
Who's the next villain that they start? Because Avengers
about this.
1.
I have a
We
theory.
did. Yeah, he
Well,
has a
Avengers
theory.
1 started teasing Thanos. So and it's just fantastic that they teased the villain for so long.
Yeah.
And, 2 giant movies, 5.5 hours battling the sky. It all paid off.
Oh, yeah.
Also, something I did not expect was this. Like, I thought the snap that was going to kill Iron Man or Captain America, I thought one of them was going to snap and one of them was going to die that way, was going to bring people back.
That's
I
it.
did
You
not
didn't know there was
think
gonna be a second
I did
snap.
not think there was going to be a second snap that kills them all. Them getting dusted, did not see coming, and I loved it. Where's that bitch going? Okay. She's still here, the good food person. Anyways,
Okay,
that's
so
your next villain. Who do you think?
I think just because this movie was such like a heavy time travel movie, I feel like even though Cap went back and put all the stones back where they belong, so that time is fine and they didn't fuck anything up, they still fucked with time. Even though they fixed it, they still fucked with time, and I feel like there should be repercussions for that.
Yeah.
Which makes me feel like, why not at some point tease Kang the Conqueror, who is a time traveler? I don't know his full background and story. I mean, they can change it for the movies. They've changed other shit. But I think that's a possible villain that they could use, Kang the Conqueror, who, like I said, he's a time traveler, and his real identity is like, I think he's like a great grandson of Reed Richards or something like that.
Oh, okay.
But I there might be another version of him too. I don't know, but that's one thing they could do. Or a Nihilus.
Let's see
I
what
was
you
gonna
got.
say no. I don't know who the villain's gonna be.
You don't know.
Because I don't know this shit.
This
But
is a question for me, not he doesn't
that
know.
is fine. But what I think is that at this point, it doesn't matter. They can introduce a guy that none of us know about. That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. They've done so much that they can bring in a guy that we're not going to really know about. That they can just give us a backstory in 1 minute, like Thanos. Like, you present him in that first movie. He didn't even have a line in that first movie. He just turned around and smiled. That big shit eating.
They don't need to do it though. They like the next 4 or 5 years, they don't even need to tease a big threat. Like, they can just do these movies, and connect them as they connect to each other because it's all the Marvel universe.
Yeah.
Who says they have to start teasing immediately the next big bad? Like,
I didn't say immediately.
no, yeah, but
Yeah.
I assume I think people expect it.
I'm
but-
saying like 5 years from now, say they have an Avengers 5.
Yeah.
But it was
With a
like
new
4
speed.
years before they even teased Thanos. Like, they was doing Iron Man and Cap and all those movies. Like, it'll probably be like that. It was like they'll go 4 or 5 years maybe
then
without teasing a
Well, 'cause
big
at the
bad
end of the movies,
guy.
they were just teasing Avengers. And
Right.
then in Avengers, that's when they teased.
It's going to be
Yeah.
the end credit scene of like that last phase. So what is this, phase 4?
Yeah.
So like the last few movies they do that are already booked, it'll be like an end credit scene of that. They'll introduce maybe a villain.
Yeah.
Something that we don't know. What happened to this Black Adam? No, not Black Adam.
Adam Warlock.
Just
Yeah.
regular
He
Adam.
will
Yeah,
probably.
so people are pissed that
he'll
Adam
probably
Warlock
be-
didn't come into this movie. I'm like, bitch,
When the
they're
fuck
not
is
this setup
bringing
for it?
just
Yeah.
like a person into
Yeah.
this movie to beat Thanos.
Adam Warlock will probably be in
Guardians
Guardians 3
because
they
he's
tease him
a
in-
Guardian.
in this-
Yeah.
They tease
Oh,
him in the
Guardians of
second.
the Galaxy
Nice.
comics. Yeah.
Yeah, they tease him in the second. He actually plays a huge part in the Infinity comics, like the Infinity
Yeah.
Gauntlet comic. But obviously they changed it.
Yeah.
They do tease him at the end of Guardians 2, so he'll probably show up in part 3,
Yeah.
if not somewhere down the lines after that.
Yeah, I think they're going to introduce him in 3.
I want to see the Silver Surfer. I want to see Galactus.
You're
Galactus.
gonna
Yeah.
see- that to me is just weird. Galactus is just this huge thing. I don't want to see this big face coming into a planet. Do you know what I'm saying?
That has to be the
some
thing,
weird
though.
shit.
Like, if you're bringing in the Fantastic Four,
what I
you
want to
bring
see
Silver
again,
Surfer.
what I want to see again, and I don't. Well, I'm not saying like I want to like it to be the next main big villain, but what I'd love to see them do again is an Ultron, just a little differently because they've changed time, right? So say like even Reed Richards, he wants to create that was the whole thing was Tony wanted to create an army of robots
Right.
to help protect the Earth. So say they introduce Reed or Bruce. And they're like, well, Tony maybe was right. Maybe let's do that. And then or there's time travel, they screw up, whatever. Because they changed the Ultron comics significantly from this. But I think they could it was just they could do it again, and I think they could.
I wouldn't mind seeing Ultron again. I actually like the Ultron movie. It's not the best movie, but and like some
Ultron's
people don't
a
like it.
little
But
overdone.
Yeah, he
he's a
kinda
little
hands
too
it up.
funny,
I love
yeah.
his voice, dude. Spader.
Yeah.
I just finally finished The Office, and
Yeah.
when Spader comes in that,
Yeah.
all I just close my eyes, and
Yeah.
it's Ultron in that fucking office. It's amazing.
It's just like he was a little too overdone. Like I really liked him when he was like, "There's no strings on me."
Yeah.
Like I liked that, but like the rest of it was just like. But it's still a good movie.
They evolved every
they
time.
really
I loved it,
changed
yeah.
Ultron because in the comics, Ultron is based on Hank Pym is like his father. He basically
Yeah,
created
and
him.
Vision dies in the comics, and what they do is they kind of took Days of Future Past, Days of Future Past kind of took the idea of Ultron. Like so in
What?
In Ultron the comics, Wolverine goes back in time to kill.
You're talking about the Age of Ultron comic, like from like 5 years ago.
It was longer than that. The movie was 5 years ago.
Yeah, but the comic came out around the same time because I remember they had the same name.
I remember
same-
reading.
the
No,
same-
I remember reading it a long time before the movie. Because when they announced the movie, I was all pumped because I already read it. Like you're talking about the OG, like Ultron from like the '90s, right?
That's what I'm talking about. He's based on
Oh, I'm
Hank Pym.
Yeah, but in Age of Ultron, it's also
Yeah,
Hank Pym.
right.
Is that my tummy?
No, it's this
I
guy.
think it was. I'm digesting.
Breakfast. It's a lovely
That's
breakfast.
the one I want to see, where like Wolverine goes back in time.
No,
We're not
I
gonna see
didn't.
that
I
shit
didn't think
anymore.
that was that great, to be honest.
You didn't think
I like
Days
it.
of Future?
No, the Age of Ultron comic book.
Well, then he
event.
comes back into the future, and then all the Ultrons like are Iron Mans, and it was sweet.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay,
and
well, I
but
didn't
they
know
also
anything
had
about that.
Spider-Man that was Superior Spider-Man, because they didn't know, so Spider-Man was there, but it was Doc Ock.
The only thing that I liked about that Age of Ultron comic book event was that at the end, it somehow they had brought in Angela, the character Angela. She used to be in Spawn comics, but then because some kind of
Oh yeah, I vaguely remember this.
some kind of like rights somehow she was sold to Marvel, so then Marvel now uses Angela in Marvel Comics.
Yeah.
And she shows up, and she was in Guardians of the Galaxy for a little while, and she didn't know who she was or where she was from or how she got into the Marvel universe. And then they revealed and retconned that where she's from is a 10th realm, and it's heaven,
Yeah.
and she's actually Thor's sister. So it's like, because like Odin got around,
Yeah, he did.
And that's when I was like, oh, I don't know if I like this that much. I'd rather she's just her own character, but
Yeah.
because then she wasn't with the Guardians anymore, and I was just like, that kind of sucks. Because I liked her as part of the Guardians.
Yeah. Do you also think? I think there might be like another type of Civil War, because like Civil War 2 in the comics, this is only about 3 years old. It's Captain Marvel versus Iron Man, but like,
Another set of Sokovia Accords.
Yeah.
No,
basically.
it basically the
with
Civil
the
War 2 was
Inhumans and-
Civil
yeah.
War 2. They found that there was this Inhuman that could like predict. Basically, it was Minority Report.
Okay.
Yeah.
They wanted to use this
Pretty
guy
close.
to predict events and stop them before they happen, basically. And then, but this time around, Iron Man was kind of the Steve Rogers point of view, where he's
The
just
rebel.
like, this isn't right.
Yeah.
And Captain Marvel was like, no, we're gonna do this because we lose
Yeah.
so much when this shit happens. Fuck it, we're gonna use this kid, and then they fight. And,
Yeah, there's something really, really cool in the comics, though. Spoiler alert. Hawkeye kills Hulk because Bruce Banner hasn't transformed in a long time, and he's gone years and years without, turning into the Hulk. And like obviously, when he's the Hulk, you can't kill him with an arrow. So Bruce Banner creates something that'll kill the Hulk. And he gives it to Hawkeye because he has to go on trial and stuff like that, and he knows they're going to turn him into the Hulk. He's figured out, like, he just knows they're going to do it. So he gives it to Hawkeye because Hawkeye has a way of seeing things before they happen. Not like tell the future, but he's like his instincts, like he can
Spidey sense,
sort of
Hawk sense.
So he shoots Hulk with an arrow right before Hulk turns and kills him. So like I thought that was a really cool idea. So I was like, I'd love to see that in a movie. Obviously, they're not good at it because they did it in the comics, but...
Yeah, what happens with Hulk at this point? He just lives on throughout other movies? Are they going to let that go the way they're letting go Cap, the way they're letting go Iron Man?
he'll show up. He'll be around.
Yeah.
You can't let that...
They can't make a Hulk movie.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
It's not going to happen
Which is
again.
so...
But I think it's okay because it's like...
They can't do a Planet Hulk or World War Hulk now.
Well, they did Planet Hulk sort of already. It was
kinda
intertwined with
Yeah.
the Thor movie.
I know, but...
And that's how they got around doing it because of like there's some movie right issue where it's like Universal owns the rights to put out Hulk movies,
Still?
like a standalone Hulk.
So we have to wait
So
till Disney
they-
buys Universal.
Yes,
Which
so
is
they
always-
can't.
I need
It's
Disney
inevitable.
to buy Sony just so they can have Tom Holland as Spider-Man forever. Because this is supposed to be the last Tom Holland Spider-Man movie, right?
And he's been in 5. Right? He's been Spider-Man, I think, 4
5.
Civil
times.
War.
So this will be 5.
Spider-Man, Infinity
You
War.
want it to keep... Why can't it be like
Endgame,
James Bond?
Spider-Man.
It just keeps changing. Like Batman. We just get a new Spider-Man every few years. No.
I just want Tom Holland to be it for the next... I want a couple more
No,
Tom
they'll
Holland movies.
keep them around. They'll figure something out, and I'm sure they'll
Because
work
I
out
don't
some
want
deal.
Sony to get the rights to Spider-Man again, or like to make a Spider-Man Venom movie. I don't need that. I don't need that disappointment in my life
You're
again.
getting another Venom movie.
I don't mind the other Venom movie.
If
That's on Crave now.
but
I'm
if
gonna
they
rewatch
do it,
It's not good.
if
I've watched it twice, and I want it to be good.
what?
Venom. And I watch it, and I want it to be good, and I watch it again, and it's just not.
yeah.
And
It's
I
weird.
don't want to see a second one.
It's a weird movie.
Well, you're gonna.
The thing with Spider-Man is like, as long as Marvel makes it like they're in charge and Sony's putting it out like they did with Homecoming and Far From Home, I guess,
Yeah.
it'll be fine. Like they can do a Venom Spider-Man movie, but it's like they have to figure out a way to make it work.
You have to be on board with feet.
As long as it's as long as he's in charge, Feige, and making these Marvel movies, and they do it the way they do it, and Sony lets them do it, because obviously Sony's like,
making
you guys know what you're doing.
Yeah.
You know.
We gave you Spider-Man 3. You gave us Infinity War. So, I also think, what was I going to say? I'm blanking out. I talked too much yesterday. My brain's gone.
I know. It's funny.
When are
When are you going to get rid of that?
I know.
I wanted to ask you something. I keep looking at it, and I was going to start it off by saying...
Well, I'm never
come
getting
on.
rid of it.
No, what do you mean? You're going to replace it with a new idol, though, right?
No, I still love TJ. His
still love
footwork's
him.
phenomenal.
okay, yeah.
But no, I went. This is my bachelor party.
Yeah, I
yeah.
know. must have
Seeing
been a
that,
sweet night.
seeing this fight up top, like a bird's eye view of it, was the closest I think I'll ever see to a Dragon Ball Z fight. Like it literally was like
the way they are. Oh, yeah. I know
It
what
was
you mean.
so
All
quick.
over the place.
It's quicker seeing it live than on television.
That's why I would love to see like Demetrius live, and to know that he doesn't get the ratings that he should be getting.
Yeah.
Like, that guy's all over the place. It's like watching Dragon Ball Z
Yeah.
live, man.
Yeah.
But I was gonna ask you something. Oh, next week, Ottawa UFC. Are you going?
No,
That's
I'm
it.
way too poor.
That's it.
No, because I bought tickets to Tom Segura. It was one or the other.
Okay, yeah.
Segura.
We talked about this Segura,
Segura.
but also and he's
Segura.
not Japanese.
It's not
Segura.
Segura. First of all, it's not
It's-
Segura, it's Segura, and it's not low key, it's Loki.
No, I like low key.
Low
It's funny.
key,
Yeah.
yeah.
I like that it irks you.
Just a little bit.
He's a little baby.
Yeah, it's funny, dude.
Not a
When we
baby,
showed
I
up
just
to
know
the
how to say it.
tournament yesterday,
Yeah.
and I see you, I haven't seen you in a bit.
Yeah.
So we hug, and I'm looking at you, and your eyes are on the floor.
Yeah.
And you're not even saying hi.
You wouldn't
Because
look at
he was
me.
waiting. He didn't even want you to give an emotional face.
I
of
didn't want to
anything.
see any kind of
You were
micro
gonna
movement
read
in
something
your face
that'll
'cause I
spoil
would
the
read it.
movie.
Like,
Yeah.
I was
I
the
was-
first person you saw
Dude,
since
I started
seeing it,
laughing
like,
so hard.
that had seen the movie. Like, I'm sure people at work on Friday had seen it.
He put up a fucking. Did you show him
Actually,
the sign?
I don't
He
think-
posted a sign in
Did
the
I show
door.
it to you?
No, because
No.
you
No,
blocked
because I
him.
blocked it.
You made a sign and posted it. in
First
his
thing I
fucking
did
door
when I
of
went
the
in
office.
Friday morning at
So
work.
when episode 7 came out of Star Wars,
Look at that.
And people actually came up to me and were like, I really appreciate that you did this, because I work in a place where people will just start talking about this shit and ruin it for other people.
says
I've seen it happen.
Like, it says it at the comic book store. Like, don't talk about this fucking movie.
Nice,
Like, I know you
yeah.
want to, but don't.
You got to be respect, because, like, listen, I love these movies as much as you do, but it just for like my schedule doesn't work out where I can go opening night first thing.
Yeah.
And that doesn't.
I
mean-
got 3 hours sleep.
but I'm like my girlfriend was going away this weekend too, so it's like
Imagine
I don't
getting
want
3
to.
hours
We're not gonna go. We're not gonna go Thursday night to see a movie for 3 hours. We're gonna hang out together at my place.
Yeah.
You know, like and because I wanted to see it with you, so the way it worked out is like we'll go Saturday night.
I came up to Ottawa to see the first Avengers with you.
Yes.
And Mitch was there too, Barrett.
Mitch.
And I remember, like, we kind of would, every time you'd come home or I'd go there, because I live in Whitby, Oshawa.
Yeah.
And we would go see these movies like Thor, Iron Man, and it was like a nice way to kind of close it down. Because I know I'm going to go see it again.
We began this journey together.
We'll finish it together.
and we finished it together.
Dude, honest, man.
100%, I'm gonna see it again. Yeah, I'm gonna watch it when it comes out.
There's-
digitally.
you
I can't
have
wait
to.
to watch it on my 4K.
There's too much happening.
TV.
Like,
Can't wait.
We definitely didn't cover everything. Like, there's just too much.
When they came together, the Chitauri, the armies, and then all the Avengers coming back, that moment was just literally like, you know, you've seen it in every fucking movie, the battle and the armies running at each other, and then
Yeah.
they start fighting. That was the fucking best ever.
Yeah, it's
Giant man up there.
It's kind of crazy to think that like the
and
best.
Scott's just stepping on people left and right.
punching
Yeah.
that, whatever that thing was called, the big shell.
Yeah, he
snake,
caught
just
that
caught it. Gave it a hook.
Oh fuck, that
He
was
went up
cool.
like Buddy with that lost the tooth against Anthony Johnson. And
Yeah.
just, dude, oh god, man, that shit was awesome.
It's crazy to think that we have like the best, probably the best war scene in a movie ever.
Oh, yeah.
Or like, you know, a nerd version.
Yeah.
Come out, and then on Sunday it's gonna be the best TV. Or tonight, it's gonna be the best TV.
So the
war fight.
longest
Yeah.
battle. See, I don't watch Game of Thrones. I've watched the first 2 seasons, and then
Oh, buddy, you're missing out.
buddy, what I do is instead of watching the show, I go on YouTube and watch all the death scenes from every season, and I go, I'm up to date. I'm good.
No, the show's so much more.
No, I'm not into
Stupid.
Game of Thrones. I'm not
It's
into
so
it.
much
I like
more.
watching that, so then it's just fun to me. I can see what everyone's talking about with the eyes and the thumbs and all that, like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
mountain. But I'm not into the show, and I'm not going to watch it on
No, it's
Sunday
such a good
nights, right?
show.
It's
Such a good
amazing.
show.
I'll go back.
Do you know they said 300 million people watched last week's episode?
How many?
300 million.
Okay.
Between like
Between streams,
overseas
downloading- okay,
streams, because HBO's different overseas, I believe. I think they like the show's on like a network.
It's free,
there.
I think, for them, right?
Yeah, I don't know how it all works, but so like a lot of people watched it like not legally. You know, no, not live. So a lot of people watch it live. A lot of people didn't watch it live, like me. Like I watched it on Crave the next day. A lot of people watched it on HBO Demand, and then a lot of people pirated it. So they're saying with everyone that pirated, everyone that watched it, 300 million people watched it.
So why do you watch it at 5 a.m. the next day as opposed to?
Well, tomorrow we're gonna because
you're not going to watch it tonight.
no,
Is that what you're saying?
yeah, we're gonna watch it the next day. Last week we slept in. Like I woke up at 5:30 and I was like, crap, I gotta go to work. Like, so we didn't have time. We watched it at nighttime. Like I like watching it at nighttime.
This one's like almost 90 minutes.
Yeah, so Sam's not a great morning person, but like I like getting up at 4:45 and running.
Yeah, you go.
And I've been a big piece of shit for a long time, so I might just like be like, let's watch it tomorrow night so I can get a run in, you know, in the morning.
So I was gonna just ask. So you don't have a fight coming up?
August 24th in
Do.
Ottawa.
Okay, awesome, buddy.
Yeah.
Nice. Maybe I can make my way back. For
You
that
definitely
one.
will, yeah. You'll definitely be here.
There won't be an Avengers movie to watch.
Yeah.
But
There's
there'll be
nothing good
things to
coming
do.
out in August.
Maybe I can get some training in with you and stuff. It'd be
Yeah,
fun.
for sure. Okay, we should wrap this up because I think it's been an hour and a half or so.
Nice.
What'd you think of the the girl power moment.
Buddy, we didn't even talk about it. That's hilarious. We looked at each other, and I was just like, I wanted to say whatever it was. Yes, queen.
Yeah.
And then I was like, if I say something to him, he's going to hit me in the face while we're watching this movie. So I just had this moment where we looked at each other, and I was like, the bitches are back. It's awesome.
I liked it. I liked
it was good. It was
I liked
nice,
Pepper in an Iron Man suit, too.
Pepper in
That
the
was
rescue
sweet.
suit was fucking cool. I've been waiting for that for a long time.
But seeing all the girls show up and be like, she's got all the help she needs, yada, yada, that was fucking awesome.
I liked it.
My thought, I don't have a problem with it. It was cool, but I knew it was gonna happen.
Oh,
I was like, of course you did this.
Yeah.
And who's
There's nothing
that?
wrong
Why
with
not? Nothing wrong with it. But I was just like, there it is. Like I was
There's
like,
so
okay.
much in the movie for us. Like, like Sam didn't care when Thor threw the hammer, or Captain America threw the hammer and the shield and made that sound. Sam wasn't like,
It's-
oh, sweet.
I
no
don't.
context
It's not that
for
I'm not sexist for saying that I didn't like love it, because it's like it's predictable. Like it's like because of today and all the shit happening today
Yeah.
with like women rights or whatever. Like, you know what I mean?
Be careful what you say.
I don't know how to phrase it right, but you know what I'm talking about. Like
Yeah.
the way things are today and changing progressive shit. Of course they fucking put that in the movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
I was
at
like,
least it
okay.
wasn't contrived. It actually worked.
Yeah, it was cool.
They're
But I
all
was just
going
like,
into attack.
of course they did it.
Yeah.
I don't think. Now, a lot of people want to see like an all-women Avengers movie. I don't think. Like, why? It's more interesting if you have everyone in it.
We didn't have an all men's Avengers movie. Like, I mean, we
Because,
had
hey,
Black Widow.
Did you see Ocean's
We had Black
8?
Widow.
Yeah.
Ocean's 8
No.
sucked.
It
didn't
did
see it.
suck. It was so bad. There was nothing to it.
Ghostbusters.
Sucked.
Haven't seen it, but I hear it sucks.
Oh my god, it sucked. And the fact that girl was like the black girl in the movie was trying to defend it and was pissed that they're doing a sequel to the original movies. Like, she's like, it's a slap in the face to us. No, you mean
Your
bad...
movie was a slap in the face to the franchise.
Yeah, your movie was bad. Like, I like Melissa.
still haven't seen it,
I like
both of
Kristen Wiig and I like Melissa McCarthy.
Yeah.
It just wasn't good.
Right.
No.
Yeah, and they just like, and also like Chris Hemsworth was in it, and he's just like, is this dumb bimbo? And you're just like, okay, like if guys did it,
Like I would love to see. I'd love to see Captain Marvel and Valkyrie team up, or I'd love to see this character and this character team up. But an all-girl Avenger movie, does it really work? Like, I just think it's more interesting unless there's like you got to have a really damn good reason for it.
You gotta have a girl villain.
Not just
You
to be
gotta have
like
a badass like Hela.
Yeah, not just
Like,
you
something
can't
like
just
that
do
is
it
gonna
just
work.
to be like because to do it like
It'll
the
still make $1
Ghostbusters
billion,
or Ocean's
yeah.
8
Yeah.
like
But at
Ocean's 8
least they
wasn't
can
good.
pull. I think they can pull it off better than like this Ocean's 8 because I'm
yeah.
not gonna go see Ocean's 8. But if they put an Avengers all female, I'm still gonna go see it.
Of course,
it's gonna be fucking awesome.
and it's part
Yeah.
of everything else.
Yeah, like I think you're right. They need a nice, sweet, badass.
There's no context to
villain
an
chick.
Ocean's 8. When you see Clooney and you see Damon and you see all those guys, that's the movie you want to see.
Yeah.
I'd like to see a 007 chick, whatever that movie. There was a 007 chick movie that was awesome.
Atomic Blonde.
Whatever. I didn't see
don't
it.
know.
I might see
I
it.
didn't
Yeah,
know
I don't
either.
know. But there's no reason for me to go see something like that. Ghostbusters with all the chicks, man. That's
Yeah.
it.
I don't know.
Like I wouldn't be surprised if they did it.
I'd rather see like an all female Avengers movie, or like a lot of people don't like that they changed to Captain Marvel to a woman. I'd rather see that stuff than like if they changed Thor to like a gay man.
Where did that come from?
I don't know. I liked it.
Just my
man.
opinion.
Keeping fat
Like
Thor-
I wouldn't mind seeing I mean I don't know how it would work now because he has Milner back and he is worthy of being Thor. So like if Jane, like in the comics how Jane Foster becomes Thor for a
Yeah.
while, I'd actually wouldn't mind seeing that cuz like I read those books and they're actually pretty cool.
They are good, yeah.
Yeah. So I wouldn't mind seeing like girl Thor in a movie.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Would it be the same actress?
Well they got Natalie Portman to come back for Endgame.
for like
So-
she
Oh,
was
yeah, they
sleeping
did.
for 2 seconds.
But
She didn't
still,
say
she was
anything.
still
She
there.
I forgot about that.
They still brought her
'Cause
back.
I just assumed it was in Dark World.
Yeah.
They still brought her back.
Oh, yeah.
No, those were actually scenes they've
I got
made new
that
scenes.
now. I just thought of it. Yeah.
That's why I thought that was all old footage that they
Yeah.
just stocked it. Like, we're
Well, because
keeping
they
this
did use old footage from
Yeah,
the other
but
movies.
like obviously they got Frank Grillo to come back because he looks 7 years older.
yeah,
He's weathered from all the fucking MMA movies. And
Oh
shit he's
my
had to
God.
do
the
in
fucking
past.
Fight World.
He is addicted.
Did you ever
to
watch
cocaine.
Fight World?
Yeah.
No, I watched
watched a couple
with
of them.
with the Jonas brother.
No, Fight World
No,
is the
that's
one
the-
he did
where
where he
they-
goes around the world.
No. I watched the one one episode, the Mexico episode. That's about it.
I like
Watched a couple.
that show was
I
like
was called
he
a
had
17-year-old
like
piece of shit. Do you remember that?
No.
The coaches were brutal in Mexico for the boxing.
It was for the show that he was in though. Like he was a coach and the guy was like a gay MMA fighter. Like
That's the show I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Joe Jonas or one of the Jonas
it
brothers.
just doesn't work. Like I get the idea. Like, and I'm not like
That's not how the gym is.
yeah, you know me. Like I have no problem. I was in like my friend's wedding and they were lesbians. Like I had a gay guy on the show. Like I definitely don't have a problem. But
How progressive of you.
I thank you. I know.
He sat in this chair.
I've
I'm just
worked.
kidding.
I've been training in gyms for 10 years. There's I've never seen one.
Yeah.
Like it just doesn't exist. You know, it's just there's just a missing mentality. I think like I just don't think. Yeah, I don't know.
The
There's
show
definitely
didn't do
girl
well.
versions of it. Like if they made that Joe Jonas as a girl, then that would work out 100%. I don't know why. I'm not
See
saying
more of that in the gym.
Like, is there like in
Those
the real
exist,
world,
yeah.
like in UFC, like there's way more like lesbian, like female.
Yeah, there's
like,
only one openly gay
female
guy on the UFC roster. And he's
Really?
not even. I don't even think he's on. He was on the Ultimate Fighter. Do you remember this guy?
No, he wasn't gay. Do you remember this? No. Okay, so he was in gay porn.
Oh,
he
but you're
wasn't
not gay
gay.
in gay porn.
Yeah.
Ah, interesting. How does that work?
$1.
How do you justify that?
That's for another podcast.
No, I believe there's one openly. No, I don't even think there is one.
No, because you can Amanda Nunes.
There's definitely female versions.
And then what's her name? She
We
was
don't
on
have
the
to
10th
name
planet,
them all.
Liz
We don't have
Carmouche.
to
No, but like when
point them all
you can't
out.
even name one guy
I don't think there is one. And there's like one openly gay football player, one openly gay basketball player.
who was on a team for a minute. He was on a team as long as I was in school with you.
Yeah. I don't know why. Maybe in the future there will be, but so it's just weird to have a TV show about something that doesn't exist in real. I
We
guess
just
there's
saw
tons of shit.
we just saw a 3-hour movie last night
Yeah, about a
about
guy
a
going
thing that doesn't
sacrifice
exist.
That can exist.
Punching
I
a fucking
believe
shell.
it.
Okay, okay, that's a good point. You bring that. It can exist. No, it can't. But the reason that we love these movies so much and they're so good, the Marvel movies, is because the characters and the heart, they have real, like the characters are real. You know, like you feel like this is a real person, and there's these real life situations, but they're like blown out of proportion into these impossible kind of scenarios that will never happen in real life, like fucking time travel and fucking Infinity Stones.
If you had started with time travel in the first Avengers, you wouldn't be on board. It would be too much.
Yeah. I like how they saved it for the last movie.
They built it up, and like you said, the culmination of 11 years of going to see Iron Man in 2008 and being like, "This is fucking awesome."
Yeah.
Not knowing
that movie
what's to come.
was so like raw and believable, and
Yeah.
like because it happened. I think that movie only came out 7 years after 9/11.
Right.
Like
And
they were still
in
at
the heart
war.
of that war too. Like him
we
going
like that
over
was
there in the first
believable.
place. Yeah.
You know, and yeah, just fantastic.
A lot of that shit, like I said, Winter Soldier, how that can just—it's rooted in like our time.
It's like a real like political thriller espionage type movie.
Yeah.
And
It's not necessarily a superhero movie.
Right. It had a superhero in it.
Okay, that's. I know we've been saying it and end it for a while. Then is Endgame in your top 3 favorite MCU movies?
As of this moment, I think so. Just because, I thought it was really well done. Like how they did at the time travel and all that, and the fact that they did it, like the plot, the idea that they presented of let's try and go back and get them before he can. So like the time travel aspect, the fact that even though I didn't really like it, the fact that they did the Professor Hulk thing, the way they presented certain characters at this point, like Thor, how different he was in this, I fucking love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, it's in my top 5 for sure, maybe 3.
Okay, Andre,
Yeah,
talking to the mic.
definitely top 3. I mean, Infinity War, Endgame, and Winter Soldier always going to be there for me. Yeah.
For me, number 1, I think I mentioned it before on the podcast, Civil War, 100%.
Yeah.
I personally think Infinity War, like seeing Endgame and seeing Infinity War for the first time, Infinity War all the way.
Yeah.
It changed. It's everything, right? But I loved Endgame. I love them together.
You can't compare them. They're 2 completely different movies.
Don't get mad at me. I'm good at
No, I'm not mad. I'm just saying, like,
It's a podcast where we talk about.
I'm not mad. Why do you always think I'm mad? I'm not mad.
It's an abrupt way that you give it to him, but I like it.
I'm just saying.
I want to keep. It's a nice contrast because I've been listening to you guys on the podcast, and I like it. It's fun.
Yeah, definitely up there. Civil War is my favorite, though. I agree with you. Top 5,
Because
maybe
there's
3.
That's the thing. When you're in it, when you believe it, you're like the first Captain America to me was like, yeah, it's fun, it's campy.
Yeah.
Thor, same shit. But Civil War, like I know it's not in my top 3, but it's up there for sure.
I love Civil
But
War.
there's stakes, man.
Yeah. Sweet. Let's wrap this
All right.
up. Thank
This
you
was
guys.
fun.
Also,
Thanks
I just
very
want
much.
to say if I said anything to offend anyone in this episode, I'm really sorry.
Have you been offending people?
I get a couple
You got
people
some
saying
shit?
like you shouldn't have said that. You shouldn't
Like
have
what?
Did you R-word it?
You said the R word.
Like what?
Like that.
No, we talked about
Because he
Britannia.
does it in the voice.
We talked. You said R word.
R-word that down, another offensive thing. Okay.
We talked about Britannia a lot on this podcast.
Oh, that whole
Yeah.
episode you talked about it.
People
for
were like,
an hour.
"You should probably have not said some things." I was like, "I don't care."
whatever,
Like,
who
it's
cares?
yeah. And then I talked about.
Does she listen?
No, I don't care.
Who
I don't
cares?
care. If she were to call me and be like, "You shouldn't have said this out," I would have been like, "You shouldn't have tried
touched
to."
me.
More.
Yeah.
Sorry, bitch. No, yeah, but someone was saying something about that, and then I said something about someone's dad on the show, and yeah,
Oh no.
she doesn't listen, but her husband
Oh god.
does,
give me some
and
shit.
he was like, "You should have put that in there," but I think he was joking, but he also agreed with me,
Yeah.
so it was.
This is the beginning of a lot of those moments where you
Yeah,
do
I'm
a
gonna
lot
get
of
in
that shit.
trouble.
That's
Yeah,
okay. Hey,
it's
all
okay.
part of it.
Joe Rogan gets in trouble, right? But
But that's why we say things where it's less like, when we'll say something like anti-feminist about how we don't think like an all-female Avengers movie is good, but then we're like, there's nothing wrong with it. It can work. Or like how like Sam, what's his name? The Falcon.
yeah,
Is like the new Captain America.
yeah,
Because
it has nothing
because
to do with.
he's.
It has nothing to do with race or sex. It has to do
We
with,
don't have a problem with it. It's
It
just
has
we
to
know
do with
why
what
they're
the
doing
I think
it.
it's gonna
It
be
has to do
good.
with
We
the
understand the
It's gonna be good.
political reasons for some of these choices they're making.
But
Now.
if
I think
it's-
that's what-
do
yeah.
it not just for the political reason, but
Yeah.
do it because it's actually gonna be tasteful and good.
Yeah.
Yeah, make it
I
like
just-
Anthony Mackie can be a sweet captain.
No, I think it's fine. Like
yeah.
it worked in the comics for a while, but personally, I think
Yeah.
it should be
Don't
Bucky
force it
first.
down my throat,
I'm just
basically.
I just like Black Panther. Like if he was white in the movie, I wouldn't like it.
Yeah.
Like I want it to be
That'd
like
be
the
weird.
comics,
Yeah.
right? Like I
Black
want it to
Panther.
be
It's
what
like,
I
no.
know. Like and like I don't want things to change because of Twitter. Like I want things to be like. And when I say I don't want a gay superhero, it's not that I don't want a gay superhero. I don't want them to take Thor and make him gay.
Yeah, and
That's what I don't want.
Yeah, there's other characters you can use.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or make new characters.
I
You
can see
want people
Vision
to
being
see
gay.
themselves on
Yeah.
screen and be able to live through that movie. I get it, but not. They want it to be as tasteful.
Like there were some talks about Spider-Man, Tom Holland being gay, and I was like, I don't want this.
You mean like the character or him?
Tom Holland's a national treasure.
No, I'm saying like you got a problem with if he came out and
If
now
Tom
it's gay?
Holland was gay in real life,
No.
You don't
I wouldn't
care.
care. Why would I care?
But if they made Peter Parker gay, you're like,
fuck off.
yeah, because it's not.
There's tons of actors that we watch that are gay in real life.
Yeah.
And you can tell.
Well, I think I read something where they made a point of like the first openly gay character in the MCU, and it was Joe Russo, the director's character in that group, the help
at the very
the
beginning.
help
yeah,
group.
yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I thought they were talking about like a superhero.
Yeah, there was-
but like
Yeah.
whatever.
But they were
There's
talking
no
about
I was like,
problem.
oh, cool,
the date
Joe
you
Russo.
went
But I
on
think
when was
I
gay.
think they said that one of the major one of the leads in Eternals is going to be like super gay.
Internals.
Eternals.
Eternals. The
What's that?
Hercules. There's like a Hercules character, right? Or something else. Am I
Is he
thinking?
in it?
Yeah, apparently that's cast.
He's an Avenger.
Oh.
There's
Okay.
a character named Hercules.
But
who's an
again, like,
Avenger. I don't know. I didn't know he was like
but
that.
again, that stuff I don't really know. I just mean like, don't
Right.
make my Spider-Man gay.
Yeah.
I think Andrew Garfield wanted it. That's why it wasn't Tom Holland. I think Andrew Garfield wanted
He
it.
thought it would be interesting, yeah, if they made him gay. But it's like, well, maybe just stick to the books.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah. Andrew Garfield, maybe just stick to not making Spider-Man movies.
I like him.
I liked him. I'm with you.
I
on
like
that one.
Andrew Garfield, and I want him to.
I
come
liked
back.
him when he was in the costume. I thought he was funny.
Yeah.
Like, but he.
If Sony brought him back, like I've said this a million times, if Marvel had their Spider-Man in the MCU and Sony did their own thing with like Venom and like bring Andrew Garfield back to be Venom in their Spider-Verse, I'd be all fucking in.
There's allowed. If there's two Jokers, there's allowed to be two Spider-Man.
Sure.
Yeah.
Cool.
Absolutely.
Let's end it on that. Thank
Awesome,
you.
buddy. See ya.
Okay.
Sweet. Oh, that was a long one, I think.